Hi there, Peter Brown here from the Irish Research Council, and thanks, Gareth, and delighted to be here to talk about ERC. And my presentation will be followed then by Geraldine, who will talk about MSCA. So hopefully all the tech will work here. So I'm just trying the clicker to move on to the first slide. So what is ERC? I mean, ERC is a hugely significant part of the overall framework program of the European Union, and it really drives a very competitive Europe in the area of frontier research, discovery research, blue sky research, whatever you want to call it. So very important part of the overall framework program. And the ERC supports excellence in frontier research through a bottom-up, individual-based pan-European competition. The proportion of ERC within the overall pot of European research funding, again, very significant, about 17%, which in terms of Horizon Europe will mean that we're talking around 16 billion euros, so a very significant amount of money. And Ireland, we want to do is draw down as much of that as we can. So just moving on. So ERC provides long-term grants for individual pioneering bottom-up research, and it's grouped into 3 different areas: life sciences, physical sciences and engineering, and social sciences and humanities. And there's no doubt that ERC awards are genuinely career-changing for researchers. They provide an opportunity for a researcher to conduct independent research over a long-term period and to put together a research team. So it's a very significant opportunity to build a research team around a pioneering research idea. Of course, the awards are highly competitive, and of course, they require huge commitment from the individual researcher. But the benefits in terms of track record and in terms of the development of the researcher's career are obviously huge also. So the ERC awards are designed to link in with the different career stages of the principal investigator. So at the earlier career stage, the starting grant, then moving through mid-career, the consolidator grant, and then the advanced grant. And also in the last number of years, the ERC has introduced synergy grants, which brings a number of different principal investigators across borders together to address complex problems that couldn't be addressed by an individual PI alone. And then also the ERC offers proof of concept grants for existing awardees to show the innovation potential of the research that the ERC has funded. And I think Ireland's performance in ERC, for instance, in Horizon 2020 has been very positive. The target, I think, at the beginning of Horizon 2020 was 100 million. We're now at 160 million. So it's been well exceeded. 108 awards have been drawn down by Irish PIs over the period of Horizon 2020, and there's still one round still to come in. And as I said, it's across every discipline in the sciences, arts, and humanities. And it will be, I think, when the figures come in for Horizon 2020 overall, it'll be probably second only to Marie Curie in terms of its significance within the overall pot of drawdown for Ireland. And interestingly, the Council did an analysis of ERC awards between 2014 and 2018 and found that the success rates for starting consolidator for SSH were higher than STEM. And then for advanced grants, they're around the same. So I think that's quite interesting, an interesting message and something that excellent researchers in the social science humanities should be aware of as well. And so ERC applications are evaluated solely based on excellence. So the excellence of the research project in terms of its pioneering, groundbreaking nature, and the scientific approach, the novelty of the idea, and then the excellence of the principal investigator, their track record at the relevant career stage. So the evaluation and assessment is solely based on the individual researcher. And indeed, what institution they are in or what institution they may be going to is not part of the assessment. It's down to the individual. So that's very important to understand for anyone who's interested in applying for ERC. So I won't go through this slide in detail, but it summarizes, I suppose, the ERC awards. So the starting grant is up to 1.5 million with the possibility of additional funding, and the eligibility threshold for that is is 2 to 7 years post PhD, and up to 5 years funding. Consolidator grant then targets PIs who are 7 to 12 years post PhD, with minimum funding of 2 million, as I said, with the possibility of further funding as well. Then the advanced grant, there is no set threshold around post PhD, but awardees or applicants need to be able to show a very consistently high scientific track record over the last 10 years, and funding of up to 2.5 million, plus the possibility of a €1 million top up. And then the Synergy grant provides funding of around €10 million, very significant grants, as I said, that are multi-PI grants. And I think it's significant that Ireland secured last year in 2020 the first Synergy grant for Ireland, which was in the area of environmental humanities, so in the SSH area. So again, a significant milestone for Ireland on its ERC journey. It's interesting the impact of ERC awards, and the ERC have done some studies on this, and they show that they show a significant majority of charting consolidator grant awardees have developed their track record internationally, and have been more likely to sit on important committees for their field, important editorial boards, and of course they do enhance the reputation of institutions as well. So of course institutions in Ireland are very keen to ensure that they're hosting as many ERC awardees as possible. But very positive impacts on the career development of ERC awardees have been shown as a result of ERC success. This slide summarizes, I suppose, what calls are coming up next. For the starting consolidator, the closing date is rapidly approaching. So the next opportunity, I suppose, for people interested in the starting grant will be next year. Likewise, with the consolidator grant, next year will be the next opportunity. There will be a call opening. The advanced grant, there will be a call opening later this year and again next year. And in the Synergy grant, there won't be a call opening in 2021. However, the next call will be in 2022. And the proof of concept grants will be opening both this year and next year. And the ERC, one of the things that I suppose the research community really likes about ERC is that the work program and the ERC approach doesn't change much from year to year, and that's important. It's very predictable. However, there are a few changes that are coming in at the beginning of Horizon Europe. 2 new panels have been added: materials engineering and also human mobility, environmental science. The advanced grant hasn't historically had an interview component to it. That's going to change, or that has changed. That will now, advanced grant applicants will need to attend for interview, similar to starting consolidator. That's a significant change there. And also there's been a couple of other innovations, if you will. The ERC are trying to make the application form as DORA friendly as possible in terms of the information that applicants can provide. And for the forthcoming work program, the ERC will allow applicants to provide information on the impact, if COVID-19 has had a negative impact on their track record, what that has been, and that'll be looked at in terms of assessment. I want to mention the support. There's obviously various different areas of support for ERC applicants in Ireland, provided by EI and indeed the funders. But EI provide the consultancy support for ERC applicants, where you can apply for up to €16,000 to help with teaching buyout, and to give you the time and the space and the headspace to be able to dedicate yourself to your ERC application. So that support is available for all ERC applicants, and that's something I would obviously urge anyone thinking of ERC to apply for. I also want to mention the IRC Laureate Awards in particular. And of course, a number of different funders, including SFI and HRB, support individual researchers to develop their track record and provide a springboard to ERC success. The Laureate Awards in particular are designed for that purpose. Key Action of Innovation 2020, among the key objectives of the Laureate Awards is to develop a long-term pipeline of researchers who can be successful in ERC, allowing them to develop their track record across all disciplines. So it's very positive that the IRC are going to be opening a new Laureate Awards call in 2021. And indeed, with additional funding from the department, we're going to be able to make more awards than we did in the last round. So that's very positive. I'm rapidly running out of time here, so I'll move on quickly. There are other supports that the council offer. We have done mock interviews for ERC applicants who are through to stage 2, the final stage of assessment. I think that has proven to be very helpful for applicants in the past, and that's something that we will assist ERC applicants with if necessary. And we've also piloted training for researchers in the system who are interested in cultivating a proposal for ERC. And I think it's the NCPs for ERC, which is ourselves and SFI, we work closely together on enhancing the supports for ERC applicants. And in fact, there was a major event last September specifically on ERC that was run in conjunction with Enterprise Ireland. So just finally, just to indicate the NCP, the people in the organisations. So the STEM NCP, Dr. Maria Nash in SFI, and the AHSS NCP, the interim NCP is Dr. Deirdre Quinn in the IRC. So those people are there to help you with your ERC application, to help leverage ERC success for Ireland. And I'll finish up there. Thank you very much, and I'll pass you over to Geraldine Canny.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Geraldine Canny. I am National Delegate and National Contact Point for Mary Sklodowska Curie Actions in Ireland, and it is my pleasure to give you an overview of these programmes in the forthcoming framework programme, Horizon Europe. This office is located in the Irish Universities Association and is funded by and operated in joint partnership with the Irish Research Council. The missions of the office are threefold: to promote the MSCA programmes, to support researchers in preparing funding applications that are of high quality, given the competitive nature of the programme, and thirdly, as national delegate, to contribute to policy initiatives relevant to the actions. MSCA is the area of highest drawdown for Ireland under Horizon 2020, and we rank second in drawdown per capita. This success story is encapsulated on the present slide. Of the 1.09 billion euros won by Ireland to date, under Horizon 2020, 181.4 million of that has been awarded under MSCA. Just under 50 million euros has been awarded to co-fund programmes, which enable the recruitment at scale of excellent researchers from all over the world to Ireland to conduct research and training projects in all areas of arts, humanities and social sciences and STEM. Just under 64 million euros has been drawn down for the structured PhD programmes, or ITNs. At least 450 projects have been financed, and over 1,400 researchers have been involved, both as those directly funded and employed at Irish academic and non-academic organisations, and those coming to Ireland on co-fund. I would add that with drawdown under the last individual fellowship and co-fund calls, the final drawdown under Horizon 2020 will reach approximately 196 million euros. The three top scientific domains in terms of drawdown are firstly the life sciences, secondly arts, humanities and social sciences, and thirdly, ICT and engineering. It's worth noting that of all the individual fellowships awarded to Irish institutions, a quarter of them have been awarded to researchers in the arts, humanities, and social sciences. It should be noted that the information contained in this presentation is provisional and must be confirmed when the MSCA 2021-22 work programme is published. This is currently expected to occur slightly later than we had thought in May, with the subsequent opening of the calls. Looking ahead to Horizon Europe then, it's clear that with a budget allocated of 6.6 billion euros, that MSCA will remain highly competitive. What makes them more accessible is that all research areas across arts, humanities and social sciences and STEM are funded, with no thematic calls or priorities. Each action has one annual application deadline. The overarching goal of Marius Curie Actions is to provide high-quality training and career development to researchers via international and intersectoral mobility. By intersectoral, we mean that institutions from both the academic and the non-academic sector are involved. This includes government departments, companies, charities, NGOs, etc., and not just the academic sector. MSCA promotes attractive working and employment conditions with excellent training and supervision involved, with a positive impact on researcher careers, organisations and structures. The first action I'll mention are doctoral networks or structured PhD programmes, where a consortium comprised of at least 3 different organisations from member states and associated countries applies to fund and implement a joint 4-year innovative research and bespoke training programme. This fully funds PhD students to carry out a top-class structured PhD. As under Horizon 2020, under Horizon Europe, there will be 3 modes of doctoral networks: European training networks, European industrial doctorates, and European joint doctorates. In order to incentivise the latter, a maximum of 15 doctoral candidates can be recruited across a consortium for European industrial doctorates and European joint doctorates, with the proposed 10, so a reduction for European training networks. Another important change with respect to Horizon 2020 is that the evaluation will be conducted by scientific panel, not by DN mode. The next proposed deadline falls on November 16th this year. The second action are postdoctoral fellowships, of which there are 2 types: European fellowships and global fellowships, where a researcher is fully funded for up to 3 or 3.5 years to carry out a top quality, innovative research and training project. Some eligibility changes apply with respect to Horizon 2020, notably that the researcher can be maximum 8 years post-PhD. Exceptions will be made for those who have taken career breaks and for those who have had children during this 8-year post-PhD period, where it will be extended by 18 months for each child born to the researcher during that time. A single mobility rule will apply, whereby the researcher may not have been in Ireland for more than 12 months in the 3 years preceding the deadline at the next deadline, which will fall on the 15th of September this year. Another change with respect to Horizon 2020 is that a 6-month placement in the non-academic sector can be conducted in a European organisation at the end of the fellowship. It should also be noted that in order to manage demand for the oversubscribed and highly competitive doctoral network and postdoctoral fellowships, that restriction resubmissions will be applied. So for postdoctoral fellowships achieving a score of less than 70% in the 2021 call, they may not apply in 2022. For doctoral networks with a score of less than 80% in the 2021 call, they may not apply the subsequent year. The next action is staff exchanges, formerly termed RISE, which are research and training projects aimed to transfer knowledge between countries, sectors, and disciplines. The project is implemented via staff exchanges whereby staff employed at sending organisations go for a secondment of maximum 12 months to different organisations in the consortium. Staff exchanges are very global, and here researchers can go on secondments to other organisations all around the world. A notable change with respect to Horizon 2020 is that the project of a maximum of 4 years can fund a maximum of 360 person months as compared to 480 under RISE in Horizon 2020. These projects should be carefully managed as salaries are not financed. Again, it's sending staff ranging from PhD students to advanced PIs to management staff. And the next proposed deadline falls on the 9th of March next year. Fourthly, co-fund, whereby a single applicant or mono-beneficiary can apply. These include a funding body, a HEI or RPO, or an SFI centre. Co-fund finances newer existing programmes, providing international, intersectoral and interdisciplinary research training, as well as the transnational and cross-sectoral mobility of researchers. This is really a great mechanism which has been employed by many organisations across the country to recruit top-class researchers at scale. There are two types of co-fund programme, fellowship programmes and doctoral programmes. Here, the European Commission will provide co-funding of up to 50%, ranging from sums of €200,000 to a maximum of €10 million. It should also be noted that the Seal of Excellence will apply to co-fund under Horizon Europe, and thereby synergies with other financial programmes such as structural funding, notably ERDF, are encouraged. This will hopefully lead to regional development and will hopefully lead to a better distribution of research and innovation activities across the country and across different organisations. The next proposed deadline falls on February 10th, 2022. The fourth action is MSCA and Citizens, which is a public outreach action whereby through the European Researchers' Night events, researchers bring research and their work closer to the public at large via various activities ranging from drama, dance, quizzes, and other such activities, with the objective of increasing awareness of research and innovation activities and boosting public recognition of science and research education. A goal here is also to attract young people to pursue careers in research across all areas, AHSS and STEM. The maximum funding indicated to be applied for per project is €150,000, and the next proposed deadline falls on October 7th this year. Supports offered by the office include promotion of upcoming calls and events, via emails to research officers at all Irish HEIs, Twitter and LinkedIn, by providing training webinars and proposal writing workshops. Surveys conducted across Irish HEIs in recent years have revealed that the proposal review and the handbooks are the two most highly appreciated supports, which have certainly led to increased success, and this is most gratifying. Finally, this slide shows the means by which you can remain abreast of developments regarding MSCA under Horizon Europe. There is a website, a LinkedIn group, and a Twitter account. So please do stay connected. We encourage you to plan ahead, apply for EI support early, and activate your network now for maximum success under Horizon Europe. I wish you all the best with your MSCA applications in the future and would like to thank you for your attention.